When we think about game-changing technology, our minds usually jump to things like self-driving cars or, I don't know, missions to Mars. But what if I told you that some of the biggest changes are happening way closer to home? They're solving these nagging problems that have been holding our communities back for decades. Let's get into it. So, meet Huntsville, Alabama. It's nicknamed the Rocket City because of its huge role in the U.S. space program. And right now, it's one of the fastest growing tech hubs in the entire country. I mean, think about this. About 18 new people are moving here every single day. It's really the poster child for modern American success. But, that kind of explosive growth, it comes with a price. It puts this enormous pressure on the city. For every shiny new neighborhood and business park that pops up, there's a city department just scrambling to keep up. So this success story has some really serious challenges going on behind the scenes. And that brings us right to the heart of the problem, a huge bottleneck. The city's community development department, and specifically its tiny code enforcement unit, is on the front lines. They're the ones who have to maintain neighborhood standards, dealing with everything from unsafe buildings to illegal dumping. But as the city keeps growing and sprawling outwards, their old school methods are just being stretched to the absolute breaking point. This table really lays out why the old way just doesn't work anymore. Just imagine sending a person out in a car to drive around and look for problems. It's just flawed. People get tired, right? And that means their judgment can be inconsistent. The data they gather gets stuck in different systems, and it's a pain to analyze. On top of that, the whole process is slow, it can be dangerous, and you're completely missing the chance to spot bigger trends or patterns. So, what kind of massive army does the city have to tackle all of this? Get this, the total staff for the entire Community Development and Code Enforcement Unit is around 14 people. That's it. 14 people trying to uphold community standards for a city that is literally growing by the minute. And to put that into perspective, that's about one officer for every 25,000 residents. I mean, with a ratio like that, you can just forget about being proactive. The team is stuck in this constant reactive mode, just running around, putting out the biggest fires they can, while all the smaller problems are left to get worse and worse. So how in the world do you solve an impossible math problem like this one? Well, this is where a local Huntsville company called AerialAI.Solutions steps in. They came forward with this pretty radical new idea, built on one powerful belief. Basically, any job where a human is just using their eyes to look at something, make a decision, and then take an action, that can be automated. They figured out a way to automate the actual process of seeing. And their solution is a platform they call ICARUS. What it is, at its core, is a really smart AI system that can take in visual information from pretty much any source. We're talking drones, cameras on cars, you name it. And it doesn't just look at it, it transforms a simple picture into structured data that you can actually do something with. And the way it works is just beautifully simple. Okay, so first, an officer uploads some video footage. Then the ICARS AI zips through it, automatically flagging potential code violations, like overgrown yards or maybe some structural damage. And finally, a city employee just reviews the stuff the AI flagged, and with a single click, they can generate all the reports they need. Easy as that. But here's where it gets truly genius. And it's not just about the tech. It's about the money. See, Huntsville, like a lot of cities, depends on federal grants. And those grants have a really strict rule. You can only spend 20% of the money on administrative costs. This led to this brilliant strategy you could call administrative arbitrage. See, those old school manual inspections, they count as an administrative cost, and they are expensive. But ICRIS doesn't just make things faster. It completely slashes the total cost by about 75%. So now, all that money that was being spent on salaries and gas for inspections, it's freed up. It's still under that 20% cap, but now it can be used for things the community can actually see and feel, like paving roads, cleaning up neighborhoods, and improving city services. And the secret sauce behind all this is some seriously cool tech. The platform uses what they call a proprietary agentic architecture. Now, the easiest way to think about it is like having a team of little AI assistants all working together. Each agent, has a very specific job, and they all coordinate to manage the entire process on their own. This makes sure the data is always high quality and the whole system runs smoothly. No constant human babysitting required. So let's just connect all the dots here. For a city like Huntsville, this tech means they can slash their inspection times and costs, which directly frees up cash for real community improvements. It gives them rock-solid, time-stamped evidence for code enforcement. And it makes the job a whole lot safer for city employees because they don't have to do as many risky site visits. It's really the whole package, a complete solution to their bottleneck problem. And look, it's so important to understand that Huntsville's problem isn't unique. Not at all. It's actually a tiny snapshot of this mind-bogglingly huge global inefficiency. Our reliance on people just looking at things across all industries, government, insurance, construction, you name it, drains an estimated $4.17 trillion from the global economy every year. And of course, where there's a multi-trillion-dollar problem, you know there's a massive business opportunity. The market for these AI-powered solutions like ICARUS, just in the geospatial analytics space, is already worth over $86 billion. So this isn't some niche little product. This is the future of how we see and manage the entire physical world. So what we're really witnessing here is a paradigm shift. We're seeing cities move from the old way, which was reactive, super labor-intensive, and financially stuck, to a totally new way. One that's proactive, automated by AI, financially clever, and incredibly fast. It's a fundamental change in how a city can even operate. And that leaves us with this final, really crucial question. This kind of technology gives our cities a level of self-awareness they've just never had before. So as AI becomes the new eyes of our communities, how is that going to transform not just the problems we're able to see, but the very nature of how we choose to govern ourselves?